Hey, well, all of a sudden, it's the last day of June today. I don't know where this month went. I feel like people say that every month, but like, truly. So, we're headed outside to do an end of June garden tour. So, yeah, I'll flip this around. Let's get started. Alright, so, my new potted roses. This is the first time I've grown roses in pots. They're doing well. I wish I got footage of the roses on here, the first flush. It was this dark red. That is David Austin's Munstead Wood. And then over here we've got Gabriel Oak, which this is an old bloom, but you can see more of the true color there. So pretty. And my little porch box, they're doing good. These little boxes. These guys were looking super good, and we had a heat wave last week, and some stuff is struggling a little bit because of that, but most of the stuff in here is bouncing back nicely. It's really just these guys, which, that's okay. We've got some petunias here, which I thought these sort of petunias, they're growing a little bit more straight up than I really wanted them to, but I'm seeing now that it's probably because maybe they weren't wave petunias, where the one I have down here was definitely a wave petunia. This planter of my planters is doing the best, and I have done nothing, truly nothing to this. So we've got some lantana, which is gorgeous. This is my first time having this flower, and I love it so much. We got an extra marigold I just popped back here. This is the same plant that was up here, but doing amazing down here. And look at this petunia. Oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. So I love this planter. I don't really know what is different about this. Maybe it's just the location. It gets a good amount of sun, but also like stays kind of protected in the shade. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's not like I'm in a zone where we get super, super hot. It's just when we get those random heat waves. Anyway, this is my new garden by the deck. We've got some cosmos coming in. Some mountain clarkia back here, which is it's not looking so good now because that's a spring flower. But we've got my straw flower is about to open up its first bloom. So pretty. I grew these in my milk jugs, doing so well. Back here we've got, what are you? Boscobel. David Austin Boscobel. Beautiful. We've got some short zinnias. This is my yarrow I grew in a milk jug as well. This will come in white. This is some sort of daisy, also grew in a milk jug. Alyssum that I had to snip recently. So hoping we get some reblooming. That is a blanket flower that I truly just bought it at a nursery, and when I went to take it out of the pot, like I did what I always do. I'm very careful. I don't know what was going on with this plant. None of the roots came with it, and so I planted it just to see what would happen, but clearly not successful. Rose, rose, rose. This one hasn't flowered yet, and neither has that one. My catmint has bounced back. We've got some English daisies here, so cute. California poppies, not sure what color. I've got some 5 o'clocks here. This is a blanket flower I started from seed, so not too sad about that one because even if I don't get flowers this year, the plant is doing really well, so that's okay. And back here we've got some sort of sunflower. I've never successfully grown sunflowers because something always eats them, but I've got some there, and I've got some there, and oh yeah, and I got a few here. These ones didn't come in as nicely as the others, but that's okay. No idea what kind. Yeah, so I don't know what color California poppy that is. Over here, we've got, it looks white, but it's supposed to be like a butter yellow kind of color, which I guess I'm on trend. Isn't that the color of the season, so they're saying? All right, we've got another rose here. This was so beautiful. Here's my one, maybe not one, but my biggest kryptonite is hanging baskets. I don't know, they don't stay nice for me. And I water them every day, like when they get, because these dry out so fast. I don't really know. So I think I'm just gonna have to really cut it back and hope that it comes back nice, but anyway, that's okay. We've got a dahlia here that I planted a little close to that rose, but it's okay. Some chrysanthemum, marigolds. This is a climbing rose. I just got this support because I want it to, eventually I want it to go up on the side of the deck, which this should get tall enough to do, but reaching from the ground to there was gonna not be, it was too far to go. And okay, we've got, this is the part of the garden I have let do what it's gonna do, go wild. So you can see we've got all the milkweed opening up. Truly my favorite. This common milkweed, like when its season passes, it's not the best. It's not the best looking, but oh my gosh, when it flowers, the smell is unreal. It smells so good. And then there's lots of other stuff in there, like raspberry. We've got this ginormous pokeweed. Easily 6 feet tall back there, if not more. I'd actually guess more. Oh, a butterfly. Hello. All right. So back to the intentional garden. We've got my red rose here, which was one of my first roses I got. Let's clear some stuff from you. This got completely run over by one of the like bulldozer type machines the deck people had, and she is bouncing back beautifully. We've got a bud, truly indestructible. I want to say, I don't know what the brand is. It could be Proven Winners, but I know the name of it is True Love. So, you know, I had some beautiful gloves. They're past now, so that's that. We've got some more marigolds here. Sweet William, my butterfly weed, nasturtiums in this pot. I just got this, that's Russian sage. And this is, I think, a variety of coreopsis. My geranium doing so nicely. I'm obsessed like with this combination happening here. The geranium next to, I forget what this is called. But isn't that beautiful, those leaves? I have another one over there, but just something about this section I love. This is some kind of, it's a Shasta daisy back here, hasn't opened up yet. And then a salvia. We've got 2 kinds of yarrow. This is my yellow yarrow. It only put out 1 bud. Don't know what that's about, but we've got some more coming. Yeah, this is a new one. This is like a pinkish red. My the catman over here has gone crazy, as you can see. I gotta cut that back soon. These are the oxeye daisies I transplanted from the front last year, and I totally thought they weren't gonna make it, but they did. Just goes to show, sometimes when you transplant things, especially in the summer, they look sad as ever, but then the next year they come back amazing. Here is my first climbing rose that I almost pulled her out this year, but she's putting on a performance this year. I think it's finally gonna be okay. And it's not ideal. I didn't really know about like how to properly tie up a rose. So as you can see, we've got just like a very long stem before we get any leaves, but I'm kind of, one, too late for me to do anything now. Second, I'm kind of okay with it because this rose has been so prone to black spot, things like that, and I think it was coming from the bottom. Although, looking at this now, what do we have here? What is this? Oh, okay, we've got a little branch down there. Interesting. We've got my fuchsia flowers. She might need some water, actually. Oh, very dry. Okay, she needs water. Climbing rose, and my feverfew has truly been what a star of the show. This is my like regular classic feverfew, the single petal. And then over here, we've got the double petaled. Isn't that beautiful? I started both of these from seed last year and they just completely took off this year. Big coreopsis. This is one of my roses from last year, Princess Anne? Question mark? We've got a red yarrow back there. Nasturtiums. Oh, my hollyhock reseeded itself. Love that. We've got some coneflower, black-eyed Susans getting going there. Some more pansies. This is the one that never flowered last year. And, oh, we have a bud. Very excited. Primrose, my ginormous oregano I definitely have to manage next year. Oh, my Queen of Sweden. Rose. My, like, coral colored rose. And for the first time I'm growing dahlias, and I've got a bud that's almost open. I'm so excited. This one got huge, but then I've got some other colors in here. There's one. There's a little one. This one's a bit smaller. And yeah. And then in here, this is where my zinnias are growing. They're just little guys right now, but they're doing pretty good. Although I keep losing some, and I don't know like if something's digging them up. I don't know. Or if the soil here got very like dry and sandy almost, so I'm thinking it could be that. So I added some different soil today, and I'm hoping that makes it better, and I stop losing zinnia seedlings, because I do not have as many zinnias as I did last year, because I don't know, something keeps happening to them. But we've got sweet peas here. My bee balm, the red is opening up. Not the pink yet, but yeah. My new herb spiral. Cute. This is new. This is a passion flower vine. She's not looking good now because I literally just got it and immediately a squirrel dug it up. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And then this is another new little side garden here. Love it. All right. We're wrapping up June. I really didn't check in that many times, or I think I did like once this month. Got away from me. Sure did. But let's get into the favorites of the month. First one being, I got a new planner cover. I'm blanking on the name of this shop. I got it on Etsy. I will try to remember to link it down below. But this is going to be my summer fall, which usually is not how I split things up. Usually if I'm only doing 2, spring, summer, fall, winter, but I don't know. This one just feels right for summer, fall, and my other one feels correct for winter, spring. So anyway, but I love this. I love the orange flowers and the green, and then the inside is this beautiful blue. So that's the first favorite thing of the month. Let's start with the randoms, or I don't know. I feel like I got up to so much this month, and yet nothing huge. The schools in the area get out mid-June or so, and that is when we start summer reading at the library. So it's been a busy month wrapping up kind of preparations for summer reading and then getting it going. So the month of June is always very busy for us, and then we kind of get into a good routine with it come July. So yeah, it's been very busy this month. My card of the month, because I don't think I showed that, was the Dreamer of the Bright Hearth, which was Snake. And this was all about creativity, which I do feel like I have gotten into the creative realm this month. When I first was thinking about it, I kind of was like, no, I haven't really been very creative this month. But I realize it's because I have a very specific definition in my brain of creativity that is really not all-encompassing or correct. Like, creativity to me, I think of like, oh, making art. But it can be so much more than that. Like, I think reading is very creative. You know, even obviously if you're not the person who wrote it, I still think reading is a creative experience, and I've really gotten back into reading this month. And I've been playing a lot of video games. I think that is a creative endeavor. I guess it sort of has gotten me thinking that maybe creativity doesn't always have to mean I am the creator. Like, maybe interacting with someone else's creation is a creative act in itself? Question mark? I don't know. It's kind of been my thought, because I feel like that's really what I did this month. And it's reflected in the things I did. The decks I really enjoyed this month was really like, I spent a lot of time, I feel like, appreciating and interacting with other people's creations, and that felt creative to me. Because I suppose how I interact with them is creative on its own. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, it was a really fun card for the month. I really liked that. Especially last month was a heavier card for sure. So getting creativity this month, in the month of June, also with all the gardening I've been doing, that's very creative. It just was nice. It was nice to get that. So, other random favorites is towards the end of the month, I actually got a PlayStation 5, which I never thought I would. Or like, if I would, it's because they came out with a PlayStation 6, and so I got Paul's old PlayStation 5 kind of thing, because that's usually, I've never really been much of a console gamer, and so for the rare occasions I do, I've used Paul's old PlayStation, so I had a PlayStation 4. But then it just kind of happened where I had this whole wish list of games that weren't gonna work on my Steam Deck. Either they weren't available on Steam, or they just weren't compatible with the Steam Deck, and were only available for PlayStation 5, not PlayStation 4. And I ended up in a spot where I was playing the PlayStation 4 every day. And so, yeah. So we found a refurbished one, and now I have a PlayStation 5, and I feel like such a gamer now. But the big game I really have been playing all month long on it is Fantasy Life. Oh my gosh, do I love this game so much. It is the perfect mix of cozy gaming with a little bit of battle and quests. To me it feels very similar-ish to Disney Dreamlight Valley, in that there is a storyline to follow and quests to do, but this has some light, well, I say light, but I've gotten smoked by some of those monsters, but there is combat in it as well, and so I think it's just a very well-rounded game. I think it's one of those games where I feel like there's something for everyone to find to enjoy, and I really like it. It took me a little bit to get into it and to understand all the mechanics, but now that I do, I love it. It's so much fun. So that was definitely a favorite game of the month. Now I'm getting into, I can't say it's a favorite for this month because I truly just started it in the last week. Expedition 33 and Tamagotchi Plaza. So cute so far, but we'll see next month if those make it as favorites, because again, that was like I've hardly played them. But yeah, I think that's it for my random favorites. Let's get into the books, because again, I really kind of have gotten into the groove of reading again. What have I even read this month? Where does this begin? Oh, yes. Okay. So how many books is this? Did I talk about this last month? I don't know. I feel like I did. So I'm just going to mention it again briefly because I truly finished this on June 1st, and it's Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill. Really fun. I would label it like cozy fantasy, maybe leaning more towards like less cozy, but it's a story of unlikely friendship, and it's the first one I've read in a while with that is fantasy that doesn't have a romance storyline at all. It is purely about the friendship built between these like two unlikely friends, one being a Jenny Greenteeth, the other being a witch, and it just was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. That was a 4-star read for me. Next up, I got a advanced reader copy of The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. This is the same author as The Magical Spell Shop, I think it's called. Cozy fantasy. I started The Magical Spell Shop. That's sounding wrong, but I think that's what it's called. This winter, and it felt very kind of spring, summer vibes, so I ended up not finishing that one, but now I definitely want to go back and finish it because I loved this one so much. They're in the same world, but you can absolutely read one after the, I don't feel like you have to read them in order. So this was a 5-star read for me. Cozy fantasy. The premise is there is a librarian in this fantasy world who broke the law and gets turned into a statue. This information is like what is on the back of the book, so not spoiling. Turned into a statue. She is sent to this other island to help with these magical greenhouses that are failing. And that's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I don't want to spoil, but the characters she meets, the magical plants in it. Oh my gosh, it's so, so good. If you're in the mood for a cozy fantasy, this is definitely one to read. And when does that come out? July 15th. So like 2 weeks. Okay, the next read, also an advanced reader's copy. This one doesn't come out till the end of August, but it is The Sea Witch by Eva Lee. Here's what I'm gonna say. This is a fantasy romance, but so much more. Female pirate witches. Do I have to say any more? I would even say this is like a little bit historical fantasy. Oh my gosh, so good. I gave this one 4 stars. And the premise is there is a pirate ship called the Sea Witch that is completely manned by women who are, some of them are witches, some of them aren't, but all women. And the origins of it are women who live on the Massachusetts coast during the time of the witch hunts and witch trials. And so it's sort of like, it pulls on that historical reference, and it's these women who, they are witches and they are going to basically get executed. So in the middle of the night, they band together and escape and become pirates. I think that's all I have to say. 'Cause, yes, so good. All right, next was another advanced reader, but this one is out now. It is called The Witch at the Edge of the Wood. Another cozy fantasy. I give this one 3 stars. I don't think it was bad. Like, I finished it, you know, like, because I am one where if I don't like it, I have no problem putting a book down. Like, I will not finish something and move on to something that I enjoy, you know, because life's short to be forcing myself through books. I don't do that. And so I finished this one. So clearly it wasn't, like, horrendous to me, but it felt very disjointed. The book was broken up into 3 parts, and like you saw, the story did go together, but it almost felt to me like each of the parts could have been its own entire book. It felt like each part, it almost was like I didn't get enough detail and story in each of those separate parts. And it left me wishing, like, this could have been a 3-book series. Like, we could have had a trilogy here, because each of the stories were so interesting and cool. But it felt a little disjointed and almost rushed because it was put into one book. So, but again, I think if you are a fan of cozy fantasy, I still didn't, like, 3 stars is not bad, you know? But I tend to, like, it's so funny, I tend to sit in the 4-5 star range because I have such a thing about not making myself finish something I'm not enjoying. So 3 stars is kind of rare for me, but it's still good. I think it could be worth a shot if you're looking for something really easy and light to read. Okay, 2 more. How many, oh my gosh, how many books is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's crazy. We'll say 5 because I finished that first one right on the first. I don't think that's like counts as June's rating. 5. Psychopomps and the Soul. I finally finished Psychopomps and the Soul, which I was sent for review from Llewellyn. This is by Tiffany Lazick. 5 stars. Yes, 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 yes. I loved this book so much. Let me read the little bit of the description I wrote down. Featuring a cross-cultural, I can't read my own handwriting, intro to Psychopomps, this book brings light to times of uncertainty and fear that often accompany dying or its living. I can't read my own handwriting. Or its living corollary. The dark that comes from shame and the shadowy parts of the self. I'm gonna do another video on this because I did a little intro kind of review when I was halfway through this book of how I wanted to work with it with my cards. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But I'm gonna do a final wrap-up review and I think maybe take you guys along on some of the readings I want to do with this book. But just really, really good and a very interesting way to look at the ideas of shame, the idea of shadow work. I think like shadow work to me was something that never quite made sense and I don't think was necessarily something that I intentionally ever engaged with, because to me it was sort of like, well, I'm just gonna do a reading and if some like quote unquote darker things need to come up, they do. So that's that. However, through this, I think it really gave a good lens on how at least I would want to maybe go about that a little intentionally. I loved it. Loved it, loved it. 5 stars. Last but not least, The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Holton. This one was a 4.5. I gave it 4.5. Fantasy romance. Loved. Rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in this historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. So good. The main character of this book is very autistic coded. Like, pretty much that's how they describe her without using the term. And I just, anytime that's the case, I love it so much. And I think it was done just really well in this book. I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. I read it super quickly. Highly recommend. Very, like, again, rom-com is the perfect way to put it, because a lot of times with romantasy, it's very serious. This was so not. The romance was a heavy part of it, but in a very rom-com kind of way. I loved it. Loved it, loved it. So great reading month. So many good books. Oh, I got a cut on my leg somehow. Anyway, is that all I have to talk about? I think so. So let's turn the camera around and talk about my favorite decks from the month. Okay, let's start with what I used for my practices I usually do, / favorites from those. And we'll start with the Fellowship of the Weavers, Dawn Michelle's membership. So this month was we're doing like a story theme throughout this year. So each month is based off a different story. And this month was The Little Mermaid. So exciting, so perfect for summer. And so the deck pair I went with is the Mermaids Oracle deck. Why did I say that weird? I felt like there was going to be like more title. The Mermaids Oracle deck. This is new from Running Press. Love it so much. If you're a fan, they have this in a fairy version as well that came out maybe like a year ago. Also so good. Same artist, like, look. Love it. Now we get a mermaid version. So I paired that with the Tarot Sirene. And I really, really liked this combination. The backs, so cute. These, yeah, all upright. So I use the Oracle kind of as the main message for the week. And then I would use the Tarot Sirene as for whatever reading it was that we were doing, the spread. There's a spread every week. And I just thought these went so nicely together. It really got into that under the sea feel, mermaid feel, but something I really liked that I found about using these decks together is, I feel like I say this all the time, but I am not too much, I like the ocean. I'm not a huge ocean person though. I just don't live, I used to live near one growing up, but you know, the sensory experience of going to the beach is just not my favorite. So yeah, I've never been a huge ocean person, and so I don't really tend to get ocean themed decks, not really my thing, but something about these two together really felt more, like, it was just so focused on mermaids that it didn't make me feel like it was too watery. Now I think if you're someone who is looking for that, I do think that's something you can get out of these, but I really enjoyed them. I thought they went really nicely together. I love this Tarot Sirene. I really don't use it much, but I'm glad I did this month because it really, I don't know, just show me how much I like it. And I was just talking about this in a recent video of how I feel like I should make a category of decks for myself, of decks that just work better for me personally when they're used in a bigger spread. Because most of my readings tend to be like one card pulls from each deck sort of thing. And I don't think every deck is kind of built to do that. Well, that's a lie. I think you could do that with any deck, but I have preferences. And I think something like Tarot Sirene, I just really enjoyed better using it in these big spreads. So that was a fun discovery. But yes, that is what I used for the Fellowship of the Weavers, for our little mermaid theme. It's the Mermaids Oracle and Tarot Sirene. I love these boxes. So good. It's like a little pouch. Okay. So next up, I've got the Lionhearts reading I do with Andy. We pick 6 deck pairs, that's what we're doing now. And the decks we use each day, we roll a dice, and that's how we pick what we use. So, I do have 6 pairs here, but I did have, and I really, really loved, honestly, every single pair this month. Usually there's one pair I discover that it's like when I roll for it, I'm like, ugh, I don't really want to use that. Not this month. I really, really liked every pair, but there was definitely some standouts. So I want to share those today. The first being the Drag Queen Oracle and the Queer Tarot. First of all, perfect for June for Pride Month. Oh, it's another one of those. This is also newer from running press. One of those kinds of boxes. Oh, and I think this is running press too. Cool. Which was part of my motivation for picking these as well. Pride Month. I love bringing out the Queer Tarot. I mean, just always. I think this is such a good deck, but especially for the month of June. And now I feel like it's got its perfect match because thematically I really like them together, but also I just think they look really good together, which was an exciting discovery when the Drag Queen Oracle came in. And I just loved the readings this gave, because this month from Lion's Heart was really heavily about authenticity, kind of living your full spectrum of color kind of thing, and I just thought these were so perfect and really were spot on whenever this was the pair to use for the day. So much fun color in these. Isn't this such a good pair? I was so excited because the Queer Tarot is one that I had a hard time pairing. And when the Drag Queen came in, I feel like if I didn't have the Queer Tarot, I would also have a hard time pairing it a bit. And so together, though, they've become like bonded. I love them so much together. So that's my first favorite pair, the Drag Queen Oracle and the Queer Tarot. Oh, okay, that card does not want to go in. Okay. Alright, let me think here. Oh, I really liked them all. But my other real standout, this is, yeah, one more, was the Secret Woods Oracle with the Playful Heart Tarot. This was such an unexpected good pairing. I really randomly just tried them together when I was trying to pick out my decks for the month, and really surprised me. And I rolled to use this a lot this month, and every single time I was like, oh my gosh, what a good pair. Looking at the art styles separately, I wouldn't think they'd go together, but side by side, yes. I think there's such a fun, playful, childlike quality to the pair of these together. Like, look at that. Oh. I think they really complement each other. What more do I have to say? I don't know. I really liked them. They were really fun, and it was a fun discovery, and really reminded me that this practice we do is really like a great place to play and play around with things. And so when I pick out my decks, what I did this month was really, really did like a playing with pairs with myself where I just pulled out all these decks, had them on the floor, and just tried them out with each other, regardless of if I thought they were going to look good together or not. And that's how I discovered this and a lot of other pairs. And so I need to remember that that's fun to do and really works out well. So that is the Secret Wood Oracle with the Playful Heart Tarot. Where did I, oh. So sorry for the lengthy pauses. I need to get these put away or I make a huge mess. Alright, now let's get into my general deck favorites. These are the decks that I just used for my own readings in the morning and really stood out to me. So I've got two pairs and then two decks that I just sort of like used with a bunch of different stuff, but I just used a lot. So the first deck pair that was absolutely a favorite discovery of the month is the Little Bug Oracle with the, upside down, Affirmators Tarot. I use this so much this month. And just thought they were so perfect together. I really got the itch to use the Affirmators Tarot again because one of my coworkers just really loves it and had it at work. And so I kept spotting it out of the corner of my eye and was like, oh my gosh, why don't I use that more? It's so much fun. And so trying to find a pair with it, I tried it with this and just instant yes. I love it so much. I think they're so fun. They're so cute together, but also the messages really work well together because the Affirmators has a bit of a sassiness to it where I find the little bug to be very gentle, I think is the right word. Not in like a super like light fluffy kind of way, it's just got a gentle voice. And so I found those two different things put together just really made for a good and fun reading in the morning. Love these together. So that is the Little Bug Oracle with the Affirmators Tarot. And the second pair that was definitely a favorite from this month was the Devas of Creation paired with the Herbcrafters Tarot. This was another one that I don't know what really made me put them together. I think it just was, I was in the mood to like really get into some decks that have, I don't know, a lot to look at, a lot to think about. And when I think about that, these are just the two decks I thought of. So I was like, well, let's see what they look like together. And oh my goodness, I think they look really good together. And not only do they look really good together, but they read really well together because I find the Devas of Creation is a bit more, because both are nature themed, but Devas of Creation is a bit more abstract, a bit more like big picture thinking, where the Herbcrafters nature is very practical and medicinal and kind of using the tools nature gives us sort of thing. So I thought putting these together, it just really made sense. Almost like the larger forces at work kind of thing with the Devas of Creation, and then how we as people interact with that. I just thought it was really cool. And it's definitely one I'm going to continue using. I really I really like these together. I thought they were so good. So, Devas of Creation with the Herbcrafters Tarot. Okay. Last but not least, I've got two decks here that I used with all sorts of different pairs throughout the month. And when I was going back through my tarot journal, they just stood out as like, wow, I really used these quite a lot this month. The first being the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, which I'm so pleased about. I'm so pleased that she's back out. And I'm still continuing to use the Unicorn's Journey a lot because it pairs really nicely with some new oracles I'm very excited about. But, I mean, what more can I say? I love this deck so much. I think it's perfect in every way. It just, I don't know, it feels like the thing I just need sometimes. And for whatever reason, that was just needed a lot this month. And so I was looking through my journal, and even like times I totally forgot I even used it, because I knew I've been using it the past 2 weeks a lot. But then going back to the beginning of the month, I was like, oh, here you are again. So yeah, such a favorite. I mean, we all know. Special, fantastic, amazing. Unicorn's Journey. Alright, and the other deck I used a ton this month is the Oracle of the Living Spell. This was like instant love for me when I got this in. I think it was very early this month. I love it. I love it so much. I think this deck is so fantastic. This is created by Sarah from Cedar Moon Witch. And it's just everything I could want in a witchy deck. I love that the witch character is based on herself. I think that is so cool. Ooh, I just got into the full completed version of the guidebook, and oh my goodness, so good, so good. And yeah, I just really couldn't put this down this month. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm really excited too. I think this works well in every season, but especially I'm picturing that like late summer, early fall. I think this is going to be so magical. I just love everything about this. So good. I love the readings I get. I constantly pull. Which card is it? It's the Spiral card. I got that so many times this month. This month was really the month of repeat cards. It started with this deck, and then like many other decks I use, I just kept getting the same cards. But Spiral, I think I pulled it like 3 or 4 times this month. Wild. So cool though. So yeah, Oracle of the Living Spell. Love it so much. And that, I think, is my last favorite. So I'd love to know what you loved using this month, as always. But other than that, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again very soon.